And we are live, and we're back for another Crypto Social. Got myself and Blackie back on the stream again. How's it going?
Good, mate. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Enjoying the market pumps
Oh yeah,
that we've been having.
Q4 is here with a bang after disappointment of a couple of months, but it's here and everything is pumping. Bitcoin all-time high, Ethereum going up there, and ready for the altcoin. Well, some altcoins have been pumping, haven't they? Elrond's been back up again.
Yeah, I think ETH actually
Did it hit it?
hit the all-time high today. Yeah, it didn't go past it. It just basically hit it at $1 past or something. But yeah, I've got a nice bag of ETH. I made a few bold plays about a month ago, and I basically sold a wedge of my sell tokens off. That's went 25% Bitcoin, 25% ETH, 25% EGLD, 25% VRA. I thought just gonna go for it. These are the moonshots. And then last week I locked up all of my Bitcoin and ETH to buy some more EGLD and just rinse the interest rates.
Are you staking all of your Elrond? Have you left some out?
I've taken like 98% of it, so like 2% liquid just in case I want to play with the DEX or whatever launches when the DEX is live.
What's your view on what's happening with Binance?
What is that? Oh, with the EGLD offer.
Yeah, where they're offering Elrond staking.
So that's quite an interesting one because the tokens or coins just kind of came out of nowhere, and then suddenly the amount of EGLD on the exchange, I think it was like basically set to go below 1 million EGLD on exchanges.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, like another 2 million just kind of like appeared out of nowhere through Binance. So they've basically turned themselves into staking provider on their platform. Because I think they were running out of EGLD, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
So I'm not too worried about it. It's just whether all of that EGLD is theirs, and how much of it is actually being used to as a market employee to fund the actual interest rates, and how much of it is potentially getting kind of sold off or dumped on the current price. And obviously we can't know that really, but obviously that'll have a negative effect on the price action short term if it's being used to be sold. What do you reckon?
Yeah, was it 50% they were offering for?
Yeah, but it's only 55% for one EGLD. And then it had like, if you have 200, it's like say 20%, but you have to lock it in for say 60 days. And there's one there which is pretty good. I can't remember what it was. I think 40% maybe, but you had to lock it in for 90 days.
It's a lot longer than the 10 days that you have on the Maya app.
Yeah, exactly. So even though it's better interest rate, would you really want to risk locking it in for 90 days to get a good rate? That'll put us literally like, where are we in a month's time? November 21st, December. That's 2 months. So January. So like 21st. So we could potentially have a huge correction within that time, and you won't be able to sell it if you wanted to.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? If something happens, you want that flexibility. I mean, 10 days isn't fantastic with the Maya app, but 90 days is not very flexible, is it?
No,
especially if it's going to a top. If you think it's going to a top within 90 days, it could do anything. It could be back down 90%. Not saying it will, but it could be, couldn't it? You just it's not in. It's too much.
Too much risk. I think too much risk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Maya app 10-day unstake is kind of fine. I do think there's a game theory there, and if you're looking up your entire stack when you're heading into like a really big run, and you might get caught out because 10 days is a long time in crypto.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is.
You can like how many days are in there, for example? Because most when I was looking at doing like a price tracker for my next video, kind of like month to month, and when you look at most of the peaks and prices happen in the middle of a month, and then by the end of the month, which is like 10, 15 days later, they're actually quite far down. Something I noticed. And so if you were trying to get your money out, obviously in the middle of the month, but you had 10 days to wait, you can be like 10, 20, 30, 40% lower, given how crypto works.
Yeah.
Who is staking with? So I spread my stakes. Let me get my tracker up. And the reason I spread my stakes is for that reason. Because of the way the system's designed, how nodes get selected is random to make it fairer and more secure. And so some stakes might go through really like good periods of time where they get quite a lot, and they might go through a period of time where they get less because of the way the system works to ensure fairness across all nodes.
Yeah.
So,
So I use
mine?
Mine was Everstake company that I use for mine. I think that's stayed pretty decent.
Yeah, they're good. I need to update this. Do you want me to share my screen?
Yeah. Was that on? Sweet. So I basically got like a graph. As you can see, most stakes are within this kind of target area of 0.1 to 0.14. Like they all trend together. Then you get the odd one, like Moonlarian. See how it's like, it's like it's really high, it's really low, it's really high, it's really low. But like on average, it averages out quite nicely. But I haven't updated this. It's 25th September, so I've got the entries. So I've got basically 4 weeks to update, and I can share it on Twitter. But yeah, these are all the let me zoom in. So these are all the ones I'm with. You can basically see the average a week. I'll plot some of the better ones. Yeah, so partner staking, Moonarian's got a really good average. Stake Agency, Middle Staking, Palm Tree Network, Trust Arc, Galadriel. They've added blocks, Everstate Company, the one you mentioned, MG Staking, Titan Staking, and Helios Staking. So at the moment, they've been rewarding me kind of like the best, on average, weekly amounts of EGLD. So, and also the interest rates in app don't always display the correct interest rate because it kind of gets confused with the fact that it's like a randomized selection process. So when I was like doing these, you can see here like, oh, this is what was advertised, but this is actually the rate that I've been achieving. And then this is the rate I've been achieving for a trade in 4 weeks. So look, that advertised 7.98, but it's actually been higher. That was 11.69, but it's actually been higher. And then some of them, like the Palm Tree Network, for example, original advertised rate. What that means is when you actually look at the Maya app and select which one, that is the advertised rate. But if you come back a few days later or the following week and look, that rate might be different. Which is why I've basically kind of like out of my own interest tracked the amount each week and then just kind of back calculated it to say, right, well, if I receive that for every week of the year, then that's a current rate kind of thing. Yeah.
Basically, if you find a stake that's got like 5 nodes or more, they are more consistent. So they are more likely to be the ones inside this part of the graph where it's like quite a narrow range. To have one or two nodes, for example, they're more likely to be like Moonlarian or Wave Node or just one state capital, whereby because there's less of them, they get selected less often. So when they do get selected, they'll sometimes get a high reward. Obviously, if not being selected for a certain amount of time. So it's really important to understand that if you want the most consistent rates, it's sometimes worth spreading out across a selection of stakes.
Yeah.
And you have to accept that because the smart chain system is designed to be unpredictable and random for security as part of its technological design, the advertised rates aren't always perfect.
Yeah.
And obviously, if there's less people in a stake, the rate may also be higher. When it gets fully saturated, it's gonna come down. There's quite a few things to take into consideration, but yeah, I would definitely spread across any of these ones in yellow. So
Definitely. Got another question here from Scott. It's on about the MEX decentralized exchange. Is this another Cardano Celsius type promise? I know this has been they said it's been launching for a bit now. Is this in danger of missing out on the bull market?
No, I don't think so. I think when the markets crash, as we saw during the summer, a lot of altcoins still continued to go up or go crazy. Like QNT did a huge run whilst the market was dead during the summer. Hex did. So I think most cryptos kind of like abide by their own timeline in a sense, because if everything crashes but everybody still adopts EGLD, but like say a month later, you'll still get that one last spike, I imagine. It's a bit like when Bitcoin crashed, but Matic kept going.
Yeah.
Did
have a crazy run.
Yeah, it's bonkers. But no, I don't think it's a Cardano Celsius type promise. I just don't think like it's been a battle of the yields recently, and a lot of testing. And I just think we want to make sure it's nice and shiny and not going to break on release from high usage.
Yeah.
And I think the MyR app, I saw somebody talk about it the other day, it was something like 6 months late for release. And then, it got released and off it went. But if you were worried about Elrond missing the bull run, then you should hedge your bets and sell some and put some somewhere else.
Yeah.
I'm not worried. Like even if it doesn't launch, say by December, for example, it's not going to matter because the hype's already there. People have got really good staking rewards as well, and developers are actually building on it. Ready to go. NFT projects are building on it, ready to go. So it's just waiting for that marketplace.
It's getting a lot of interest now on more mainstream channels, I think, as well. Seems to be getting mentioned quite a lot, especially the mechs as well as Elrond getting mentioned.
Yeah, I think have you seen that Wolf of All Streets?
No.
On Twitter, it's quite a big profile. He's been mentioning it a couple of times recently. And
actual guy,
the
actual
Scott Melker.
Oh no, I thought you meant Jordan Belfort, the actual Wolf of Wall Street.
No. Scott Melker, the Wolf of All Street. That's his.
right.
That's his like YouTube channel and bio kind of thing. But he's got a big channel, so he's been talking about it, and I believe Altcoin Daily even spoke about it as well.
Yeah.
So it's definitely getting out there now. It's it's a very good project, but it was the Bitcoin UGLD versus Bitcoin chart that I double checked to make sure I'm happy with. Like, does it show strength?
Yeah.
And that's why I bought VRA as well.
Before you talk about that, while you're on a Bitcoin chart, can I share my screen now?
Yeah.
And go on to people asking a few questions. One sec. Share screen. It's hard because I've not got two monitors. Right, this one. Can you see that? So
Yep.
we're on to Celsius. You
Oh, no.
mentioned the Elrond Bitcoin chart. Now everyone knows that Celsius has gone sideways since the start of the year, basically. But this is it against the Bitcoin chart since mid-year all the way down. So this leads nicely into Jake asking this question. Thoughts on Alex dumping 1 million?
I mean, he's entitled to it, isn't he? You know, him and the founders went through all the pain at the start of the project.
Yeah.
All of the shit, all of the FUD, targeted attacks from competition. And they've got a lot. So they have to sell it off at some point. Imagine he's dumped. I think it equates to like 28 million. But imagine how much that'd be worth if they let the price go into 20 million. And then they tried selling, it'd be like 120 million or something to be trying to sell.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's actually, in the long run, it's actually better for them to sell at this price because it's easier and quicker to sell because they have to use more tokens to sell off 28 million. If it was at $20 now, they'd only need to use 1/4 of the amount of sell tokens to get rid.
Yeah.
And then also their interest would be 4 times as high as well. So it's an interesting one. It's not good. It doesn't look good either, in my opinion. It's been happening for a long time.
Yeah.
Which is obviously what another one of the reasons why I diversified heavily because I don't want to be at the mercy of an in-house whale problem. Not just
Yeah.
them, but a lot of early sell holders have a shit ton to sell.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still in sell, not as much as I was. Obviously, like you said, if you've got a coin that's going sideways and you see opportunities in other projects, you get out and get into them, which is
Yeah.
what I've done. Similar to you with Elrond, and I also got into VRA as well.
Yeah, you have to, mate. And just on that, like why that Bitcoin view is so important for anybody who doesn't understand. Basically, the whole point of altcoins in this market is to try and beat Bitcoin and Ethereum in gains. So if you don't beat Bitcoin and Ethereum from start to finish, then you basically wasted a bull run.
Yeah.
Which is why it's not smart to be heavy in a coin that's not showing strength against Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So I've got one here.
Can I just say as well, Jake, by the way, if you want to get on a stream next week, let me know. Just message me on Twitter or whatever, and we'll do a stream because I know I said we'll do one for a bit anyway. So, do you want to share something?
Yeah. Just going to show you another example. So this is Chainlink, and basically I bought some Chainlink around about $30 area. Only a small amount, just to diversify. But the one thing I didn't do was check the Bitcoin link charts. Now, 10th of August 2020, Link had a huge run up to $20 from like $2 from like March, for example, to 20 in August, 10th of August here. But what that happened was Chainlink basically had its own bull run against Bitcoin, like before the Bitcoin bull run even started. So like Bitcoin on the 10th of August was still around that, like 10, 11, 12K last year. And so Chainlink had a huge run, had this huge parabolic move against Bitcoin. 10th of August, it set its all-time high. After this, you can see it's just been a downward trajectory. It's lost since August 2020. It's lost value against Bitcoin all the way down to now. But the only time you would have beat Bitcoin is if you basically bought on the 2nd of November through to 26th of April, like in that month, you'd have made a very small amount of upside within the space of a few weeks in May, and after that, you lost all your money again. And so, in dollar terms, Chainlink had another all-time high in May, which was, I think it was about $45-50. But the reality is that was actually 47% lower than its all-time high against Bitcoin the previous year. So, like, it's a dead coin.
Yeah.
And obviously, the sell graph's even worse than this from its last all-time. Like, when sell had its all-time high against Bitcoin first, it had a second lower one, which is like which was the time to get out when the whole market was crashing. And since then, it's just been all-time low after all-time low, really, for this year. And you can also see this another coin that I believe is dead, and I keep telling people it is. But some people just like the project, so they don't look at them objectively. Yeah, SNX. So look at that. Right, against its all-time high against Bitcoin was August 20. So again, that was last year, right? And it's been on. It's just been, it's been downhill ever since. It's not even got back to its resistance line yet. It's just shambolical. But people are still buying it because they like the project, which is fine. But when you look at it against Bitcoin, like, do you want to beat the market or do you want to get spanked by the market? That's what the Bitcoin checks for. So let me show you a really good one.
Did that Chainlink thing? Did that come from? Did you see that tweet that someone put out saying that they bought Chainlink when Bitcoin was 10K?
Yeah,
and they might as well have just bought Bitcoin because they would have made more.
No, they sold all of the Bitcoin at 11K because they thought Chainlink was going to go to the moon.
I see. So they sold it into Chainlink.
And since then, Bitcoin's done a 6x.
Yeah.
And, well, Chainlink's still where it was, basically.
That was like the hot thing at the time, wasn't it? Like, everyone was hot into Chainlink, but
yeah, it was like new tech.
Yeah.
So same with Kusama here. Like, look at all the strength, and it got to this resistance in May 21. Came down here, and it's kind of like got stuck halfway again. It's on a trend line, and so you've still got, it still looks strong. You might end up in a big ascending triangle setup, but the question is, has it had its time?
Yeah.
So the reason I like EGLD, and we're going to talk about VRA next.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the reason I like EGLD is, like, you can see, a clear channel, test, low, test, trend line, test the upper channel, back down to the lower channel, parabolic move. We need to cool off. It's going to come back down, hit this channel. Assuming it maintains the channel, nothing's guaranteed. In my opinion, we're going to, by end of December, swing back up this channel and get back here. And at this point, Bitcoin will also be of a higher value. So in dollar terms, this will be quite high.
Yeah.
So for me, that looks like continued strength. Yeah, it is. It has been since the summer. Yeah. I think most people who kind of saw it coming exited a bit in the crash, whilst Bitcoin and everything else was low. And obviously, sell was keeping its value, which was like perfect to spring from. Yeah, it's an unpopular opinion, obviously, for myself, but
yeah,
okay, I'm here to help everybody, make money and make the most. I'll still use Celsius product, use the loans, store a lot of my crypto on it. He said, "Where do I sell myself?"
If you do, FTX is what I used.
Yeah, FTX. or FTX Pro is the app. Only takes a day to get verified. And yeah, to get yourself some, Bitcoin ETH. There should be a crash over the next few days in the market, and that's when sell is at its best to spring from.
Yeah. Another person who's sold sell here. Top two bags at Elron and Luna. Do you have an opinion on Luna?
Very good move. I think Luna's really good. I don't own any, and I should. I told one of my mates to get some down at like $5, $6, $7. That he got himself a good bag. But I just can't buy any because for me, I missed the entry point.
What do you think about the stable coin?
I think it's quite good.
The returns, because it's like 19%?
Yeah, 19.5%. Obviously, a slightly riskier option in the farm to 70%. Like staked on Anchor. And then you can pair it with a lot of different farms on their ecosystem.
Yeah.
And most of the projects on there kind of like very professional and set up to benefit the chain. Whereas like when you look at like Binance Chain and Matic, a lot of the projects it's like scam projects. Like anybody's just setting them up, but the ones I've come across on Terra Luna are quite like professional and legitimate.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I think USTs are good. I think it's the only algorithmic stablecoin kind of thing that's actually done well or like kept pegging.
Yeah.
During the crash. Obviously, definitely more risk though because it's less well understood. But it's definitely something you should have in a yielding portfolio.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you want to talk about the new hype coin now, VRA? That a lot of people are talking about on Twitter, and a lot of people are saying the 100x coin. This is going to the moon. What are your thoughts on those specific comments?
No, I don't. Like, I'm keeping myself grounded. I think if it gets to 50 to 75 cents, that'll be an amazing
So a 10x ish.
But yeah, from here, that'd be an amazing target, especially if that's by like the end of January or by the end of
the bull market,
December. Yeah, like the bull run. Obviously, FOMO can take hold. You don't know where it's going to end up.
Yeah,
but obviously, isn't the BTC chart. Their technology is getting adopted across the world. So there's got agreement with like Europe to use their patented proof of view tech for adverts and fraud and all that good stuff. So in terms of a product that's going to be used in the real world, they've got it, and they literally have the patent for it. So nobody can copy their exact technology.
Advice for people as well: if you're looking at buying VRA, try and use KuCoin because Gate.io, the other one, is a bit shit.
Yeah, it's fucking terrible, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's really bad. Yeah, KuCoin's actually a decent exchange. So the other reason I aped into this, because if you look at the graph, right?
What price did you get in?
I bought my first small bag at 2.2 cents, and then I basically just kept aping in up to like 4 5 cents. Well, I shouldn't have bought that area. I should have been patient, but you know what it's like.
Yeah, I think I got in about 3 cents maybe.
Yeah, no, that's good that. And so this is the Bitcoin chart, and as you can see, since it's been for most of the bull run, sideways channel of accumulation.
Yeah.
Now this is the sign. If you've done the research, at Secrets of Crypto has a Twitter thread that describes basically this kind of behavior. It basically once it goes parabolic, that's when you sell. And then only if it's a blue chip project, a good project, should you get back in. And so I actually bought in around here because we actually pumped parabolically in April, came down for the crash in the summer. Then regardless of that, we recovered like straight out. by like, a huge amount, tested the trend, and then carried on. So for me, it's kind of a sign that this project has got that early strength to show it's going to be sustained in terms of like technical analysis. And if you actually look at the roadmap for the team, everything on their roadmap they've hit each quarter. So there's loads of confidence there that they're doing what they need to do, that the product is getting rolled out, it's getting integrated with X, Y, and Z. And obviously unit bias, and the 25% staking on VRA, which is ridiculous. That's only 25% until March next year.
What happens in March then?
It'll get reduced. I don't know what to. I don't know what I don't know what interest rate the product itself can sustain. Because that interest rate's clearly been subsidised from the unlocked VRA, like the locked supply.
Yeah.
In my opinion. So, but they did mention they were going to burn 2.5 billion of the tokens as well, which is pretty cool. That also has a good effect on the price. Yeah, 25.55% a year. So if you have a good position in VRA, obviously that interest just gets worth more and more every day as the price goes up. So it's definitely one to hold for the next few months.
So you're still bullish on Elrond. You're still bullish on VRA.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Obviously bullish on Bitcoin.
Yeah.
I think I've got. Is that the chart? Yeah. So basically, I've just put like the next moons on kind of thing. I think it's around about there. So Bitcoin kept pumping, and then I think we're going to start the quick flash crash before we carry on. I don't think it's going to get this low. It'd be nice if it did, but it's more likely going to get down to about 55. And basically, the next new moon is 4th of November. So we've had the full moon now. So this is a negative. So like we're in a negative energy kind of like part. So over the next 5 days, it's going to peter out. The trend lines are going to catch up, and then we're going to, my opinion, we'll blast up to like 70, 74k by the 4th of November.
The actual moon.
Yeah. So that'd be nice. I'm bullish on that. Definitely bullish on ETH. We actually hit this upside target as well. From this swing low to swing high, if we had continuation, we would hit the 4,354. We've hit it. So the next target to the upside, we'd want to see 5,300 ETH over the next month. Be nice, wouldn't it?
It would.
And then, if you look at it, what's interesting now is look at it against Bitcoin. So we all thought that ETH was going to make new all-time highs and have a flipping, etc.
Yeah.
Work out of its symmetrical continuation pattern, and then it's just died. It's coming back down to the accumulation zone, this golden ribbon. So in terms of ETH against Bitcoin, it's kind of a good time to, anywhere in this golden bar, it's a good time to get ETH, because from the swing low to the swing high, that's such a fib. And if ETH continues its strength, we want to get it when it's between 0.055 and 0.061, like BTC to ETH. And hopefully, because I mean, that's strength, right? How far back? That's 2019. So from 2nd of September 2019, so just before the bull run even started, you can see just from looking at this graph against Bitcoin, it's the most important thing, that we're having continuous low, new high, lower high, higher low. So it's got continued strength. So investing in ETH, during this phase made perfect sense. So like any altcoin, it's showing continued strength against Bitcoin. So that's actually well outbeaten Bitcoin over last year. It's pretty decent. So I'm still bullish on ETH. You just got to get past the the new money coming into the market over the next month or two with Bitcoin kind of reclaiming dominance.
Is there a point where you stop buying this bull run?
Yeah, now.
So if you've got, so for people watching who are obviously in some of the projects we are, what would you say if they are looking at buying something? Would you say, what, just put it in stable coin, or
So if you've only just entered the market right now,
sorry, what if you're in the market? So you're in the stuff that you're in quite a few projects, but you want to put more in. Do you hang fire, or do you put it in a stable coin, or just let it ride?
I think you always just put it straight into either a stablecoin or Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And then you can trade out of either one into
Pretty
like a
easy.
project you want. Yeah. And just try and like whenever anything pumps, just be patient and just wait for it to come back down to a trend line for an entry. Best way, because it can't just go up forever.
No.
I mean, it don't feels like that sometimes, but and don't ape in. But basically, I mean, it's gonna be quick this next run. So like whatever you're putting your money in, don't lock up all of it in case you want to sell it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good tip, that, because if you're in 3 or 4 projects and you're locking away in one project for 10 days, then another for 30 days, then another for so many days, then another one till March. If something happens, yeah, everything's locked up, you're fucked basically, aren't you?
Yeah.
You do need that accessibility to move from out of things easy in some projects. If you lock everything up, this is why I did them videos on Swissborg where people are locked up in premium accounts for like a year, and it's just too long, because
Yeah, it
you
is.
don't know what the market's going to look like, and if
Yeah.
you want to get out at an all-time high, you can't.
No.
So it's
Yeah, it was like I generally completely avoid locking anything up, even stables for a better rate. I don't lock them up.
yeah,
And what if your car breaks down, or like you actually need to get that money back into fiat and spend it?
yeah.
So even if it's stable, like I have all my money digitally now, pretty much. So if my car broke down, I would need those stables. So last thing I'm going to do is lock them up on crypto.com or whatever. I'd rather have them fully flexible.
How much of your crypto now is in cold storage?
0.
Have you got a Trezor or a Ledger?
No.
No.
I just practice good security in general, but I definitely need to look into having something like Bitcoin and whatnot on it.
Yeah.
On a cold wallet at the end of this cycle. But if it's in a cold wallet, it's not paying you interest.
Very true. You just got to weigh up that risk-free reward, aren't you?
Yeah.
Basically, spread your
Good
risk
internet.
across different online wallets, platforms.
Yeah, good internet security.
Yeah.
Good passwords. Secret recovery phrases that you don't have stored anywhere apart from somewhere and like
Two-factor
hard copy.
authentication.
Yeah, and also you need to set a SIM card lock as well on your phone, so that if somebody's trying to SIM swap you, you'd have to put in your 4-digit code or 6-digit code. So that's a good idea to do as well. It's like a basic SIM security.
Yeah.
And if you want to take it one step further, I think you can actually contact your phone provider to put another layer of protection on as well.
That's good.
So that's just for the mobile 2FA. Then there's also like internet-based 2FA. Can't remember what it's called. But basically, I think you have to plug it into your computer.
I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen that advertised.
To use it.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's an even better tier of security. But then again, you have to go to your computer to use it to get into whatever apps you're using it for.
Yeah.
And yeah, spread it across several different areas. I've got like L1, Celsius, UST, probably Yield app at some point in the future for Yield. But yeah, it's a high risk world, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah, and it's you have to decide what kind of risk you can sleep well at night with. Like some people can't sleep at night unless it's all in the cold wallet.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, some people just don't care and like kind of like happy with it all on hot wallets or
I know people
CPI.
who are nervous about having it on a cold wallet because it's physical and they're
Yeah,
scared of losing it. Oh, I know you've got a recovery key, but they're just very paranoid about something happening, misplacing
yeah,
it, house getting robbed. So it's, it depends on yourself as well, doesn't it?
yeah. And the other thing I don't like, what I don't really like about hard wallets is it's not actually on your wallet. Like that stick that you get, for example, the Trezor, the crypto isn't actually on it.
No.
It's actually on the blockchain.
Yeah.
That is just a key to the wallet.
Yeah.
So it's not, it's if you if somebody has your secret seed phrase for your hard wallet, that's just the same as getting a seed phrase for somebody's hot wallet.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah, it is.
the only difference is it's not always online. But if they get the seed phrase for it, it's fucked.
Yeah.
Like it's compromised.
Yeah.
It's gone.
Just got to do your research on the places you hold it, haven't you? Like Celsius,
Yeah,
the app itself is, really good, irrespective of what is happening with the token.
yeah,
The app is really good. One for the rewards you get, but for the security as well is really good.
yeah.
I've found.
They do shit like check the black market for emails to see if the emails are compromised, to see that new signups aren't already compromised.
Yeah, yeah.
That's obviously that's just like next level. How many companies do you know that do that for you? Do you know what I mean?
And it is. I've always noticed that the security is really
Yeah,
good with Celsius.
and
What sorry, go on.
no, sorry.
What what are your plans then going forward for? Because I know you said you were going to travel.
Yeah, I do want to travel next year. Like, hopefully be funded by interest of crypto. Like, it's the less I can use, the better. Really,
Hmm.
I don't want to eat my principles. I just want to play this bull market right. But the one thing I haven't looked at yet, which I definitely need to do, is crypto tax.
Yeah.
Figure out what the tax bill's going to be.
Speak to Joe.
Yeah,
He's
we'll
really
have to.
good. He's really good. The software as well that he recommended me is a Cointing.
Right,
Have a look at that.
good.
Yeah. You basically put in, you link it to your wallets, and it tracks basically. And then anything that's if you can't link your wallets, you just try and pinpoint what you've moved to which, and you can help you do
Yeah,
that. And then it generates like a tax report for the year,
right.
and you can get it done. I mean, he says it's sometimes it's not going to be perfect, but you're going to provide more evidence than 99% of people declaring crypto tax.
Yeah.
So HMRC will be happy. It doesn't sound like your dog's happy about tax though.
No, he wants more food. Keep it from me. No, my mates used Recap,
Right.
which is a bit like Coinly. But he said what he does is he basically downloads all of his Excel files from wallets, and from exchanges,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then he basically he formats it so that and basically imports it to the website recap, and then it basically just figures out all of your pots. It'll give you like your portfolio weighting and capital gains taxes and income taxes. But sounds pretty good. He said he'll take me through that, and so I might try that one. But yeah, I'll speak to Joe as well.
Does anything change for you if you're traveling, tax wise?
No, I don't. Well, I don't know.
Does it just depend on, I suppose, how long you're out of the country?
Yeah.
Or where you
might be able to get away with it, but I'd need to speak to an expert who knows all. Without the country X amount of days, and it's only these rates. But you have to pay tax somewhere.
Yeah.
So
just go El Salvador, you'll be all right.
Yeah. Well, I saw somebody on Twitter say she was living on one of those islands, basically 0% tax. It's just like a state Kittis or something.
Right.
It looked like absolute paradise.
Is Portugal supposed to be all right for crypto tax, isn't it?
Yeah, it is at the moment. I think if you pay for the residency, you can get a pretty good deal, and all capital gains are free.
Yeah.
So if you become a good trader in the bear market, you're laughing. Stay kits, that's the one. Yeah. And that is apparently a tax-free haven too. So there's a lot of places to look at if we get sick of England.
Was it South America you're looking at going?
I can't go to America. I want South America.
Yeah, South America.
Yeah, South America. Yeah, I can't get in America because I'm not vaccinated.
Hopefully the rules will change soon.
I know. So yeah, no, I definitely need to get my crypto tax sorted for January. Really, I need to make sure I cash enough out as well, because I haven't really been keeping an eye on it. So I just know I need to make sure I cash at least half of my portfolio out something and make sure it's covered, because I've done like obviously a lot of moving around.
Yeah.
And then I end up putting it all into something rather than keeping it back.
People need to be as well when they do trades that, depend on the tax laws in their country, if it counts as, disposing of assets, etc.
Yeah.
Because people play around and trade too much. It can, it can fuck you over in the long run, can't it?
Yeah, I think they can argue that it's income instead of capital gains. That's one risk. And the other one, like DeFi, the way software understands DeFi, when you're putting things into pools and stuff and bringing them back out, it treats them as like a disposal.
Yeah.
That's pretty tricky to understand, and
it is
what impact it has.
It is a minefield. When I went through it with Joe, I think he's in Dubai at the moment.
I was surprised people wanted him in Dubai. It's tax free, isn't it? I didn't get it.
Yeah, good point. Good point. That's where all the crypto people seem to be, though. Carl the Moon, and then the other guy with the weird faces.
Is he there as well?
Yeah, they did together somewhere.
They've clearly made it much further than we have in the rankings of crypto.
Yeah,
maybe one day.
One day we'll be in St. Kitts.
Yeah,
on the beach with the pina colada.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Be nice.
Any final thoughts, people? What we've gone through? Unfortunate news that we're both big to sell, but we've obviously sold out a lot of it because of the fact it's just gone sideways. But yeah, I'd say I'm with you. I'm bullish on Elrond. And VRA as well, which you got into.
Yeah, there's another one called Happy, HAPI.
Right.
And it's basically a DeFi security protocol.
Right.
It's going to be rolled out across several different chains to obviously protect users and the protocols. Just one of my friends was talking about it. It did sound pretty interesting.
Right.
But I haven't invested, just something to go research if anybody looking for something to research.
Have to keep an eye on it.
Yeah, and the other thing I'm enjoying playing with at the moment is DeFi on Terra. So I've got this if you buy Orion, try and get it on uh try and get it on the Binance chain, because as it's cheaper to stake on the BS chain basically rather than the
Fees.
ETH gas fees.
Yeah.
So if you can basically check that you can send it from wherever you've bought it on the Binance Smart Chain to your MetaMask, you can then go get it on the farm for like 60-70% or something.
Yeah.
Probably worth doing because it doesn't cost you any gas fees. It's Terra Luna. So it's called Nexus. It's the new protocol that's come out.
Heard
It
of that.
basically it's on Terra Luna blockchain. It basically what it does is when loans are taken on the platform, can't remember if it's on Anchor or a different one, Nexus updates 15 seconds faster than the protocol that does liquidation. And so what it does, it sees the liquidation coming 15 seconds before it happens and automatically adjusts your collateral to avoid liquidation.
Right.
So it's like a loan protocol. At the moment, I think they're promoting for people to take loans. I haven't taken any. But like a degen play for degens, getting a bonus to take a loan. It's called like a delta neutral strategy. So that as long as you've got collateral there, it'll automatically pull it over to avoid liquidation in the case of like a crash or whatever.
Yeah.
And if they've got their own token, I think it's just a governance token, but it's paying something like 270%. So it's
Not bad. Not bad.
yeah. Bert switched on. They said that he did it on Binance Smart Chain, and he's got mine, which is Pylon, I believe. I don't have any mine, but if you have mine on Pylon, you get airdrops of projects. So it's like a launch pad. So your mine is staked. If that's used by the projects, then you get airdrops of different projects. Basically, it's quite interesting.
Right.
I don't have any though. I do need to look into it. That's on the Pylon protocol. Yeah, so there's a lot of interesting stuff happening there.
There is.
Subsidized.
And hold on to your seats because the only way is up. apart from sell is sideways, but everything else is up.
Well, it's the bull run is back on. Like I've been fucking waiting like 6 months. It may as well be. 1 sec. I drew this out. See my screen. Well, May. I basically drew this graph back in back end of May. Now October, so June, July, August, September. Yeah, 5 months we've waited for this. It's like pure patience and belief, nothing else, and just technical analysis that it is going to happen. And we've made it look bang on. So we are going to go fucking wild. And if you look at the previous bull run, that's the 7-week SMA, simple moving average. And if you look at the EMA, I'll just take that off. Seven. We're not orange. You can see how, like, on the weekly, it just hugged the 7 all the way up.
Yep.
Yeah, look, so to me, it looks like we're getting off to a good start. We've got a going to come back to it at some point before we go again. But basically, if we're always, I don't know what's that, 5 to 15% off the 7-week exponential, we're doing good basically. So that's one. Like if we're above that, it's clear bull run mode, and then if we close below it, well, the first time we close below it, that was kind of the signal that we're going down because 1, 2, 3 weeks later, boom.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't actually close below it at any point. We went below it here, but we didn't close. So that's something to keep an eye on. Another indicator on top of all of the indicators we have, the pi cycle moving average. But we should just finish on that. Is it a Bitcoin pi cycle? Has it got a graph?
Oh, yeah, I've looked at this. Yeah.
I need the graph. It helps a lot. Have you got that anywhere? Can you find it on the internet?
Was he not on Looking to Bitcoin?
I'm not sure. What's that? Looking there.
That's the one I use.
Is there a live one?
There should be.
I think I might have found it. Yeah, it doesn't have a graph. Oh yeah, I found it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Found
you
it
found it just as I did.
Yeah. As you can shut it on, it's up to you.
There you go.
Right, how do I get into this? So it crossed here. I met on 11th of May or something, right? Now that, I believe, this stuff's interesting. 11th of May. When was that? So it was on basically the second day of that week before we dumped, which was 3 weeks after we closed beneath that 7-week moving EMA. That's something to think about for watching. And so that basically the conclusion that me and they called Plan C. Oh fuck. Oh yeah, I just fucked it up.
What have you done?
Came to was that the pi cycle's been right every single time, including this one. Like it was a local top.
Yeah.
See how far away it is now? Like, how can I? There we are.
It's not
You see how
great.
far? Like it's miles away.
Yeah.
So when we get to December, January this year, so I believe we're gonna have a triple top cycle. When we get to like late December, January, we have a big crash. This indicator will be nowhere near each other. So if that is the end and it is the top, then this measurement will be invalidated. Whereas previously it has always called a top, not top of a cycle, but it's called a local top.
Yeah.
So I'm very interested to see if it's right for the next local top as well. That's something
We'll see.
Yeah, something to keep an eye on. But yeah, other than that, just sit back and enjoy the ride.
So on that note, cheers for watching, guys. And next time you watch, Bitcoin could be at what? 80k? Do you think?
Yeah, but if it's a month from now, definitely gonna go for 85k.
What
Yeah.
about an interesting one? What about VRA? Any thoughts on that?
A month from now.
What's it at now? 5 cents, 6 cents?
Yeah, 5-6 cents. I reckon between 12 and 20 cents.
Ooh,
I know.
ooh. So
Yeah,
get looking at that, anyone?
I do think it's got a double in it from here, like over next month, and could go further.
There you go. Well,
Yeah,
cheers for watching,
thanks.
guys. I've linked Blackie's channel in the description, so click on his, subscribe to him as well. We tried streaming to both channels, but we ran into some difficulties. We'll try and figure out how we can do it. But yeah, cheers for watching, guys. Subscribe to the channel. Please like and share, and we will see you all very soon.